During this journey, I've been trying to get Alexis to just focus on us. Like, stay in our lane.
I gotta get comfortable. It's straight.
For some reason, out of the blue, here comes Brent, the new image of Brent. And all of a sudden, you trying to step up to the plate. Like, where did that come from?
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is. You're mad, you're lean. We're here to give you guys a review of Ready to Love. Yes, I'm here with my schlub, baby. We're going to talk to you guys about Alexis and London, Mario and Tondi, Mario and Reva, London and Brent and Alexis, Brent and... I mean, there's just so much going on in this video. Anyway, guys, grab your popcorn. Are you mad, you're lean? Listen, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. For those who are returnees, you ain't got the minerals, baby. Are you mad, you're lean? A gege. Listen, if you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get your ass out. Chalet, baby. If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get out. Chalet, baby. Listen. I can smell the intoxicating madness coming up in this particular episode.
During this journey, I've been trying to get Alexis to just focus on us. Like, stay in our lane.
I gotta get...
So many things happened between London and Alexis. It was quite interesting. I think, obviously, the first thing I kind of really was kind of blown away by was obviously their conversation around the fact that, you know, Alexis wanted London to concentrate on her mainly, right? And what was happening was that even when they were talking at first, you know, she had mentioned the fact that, you know, London was straddling the fence. He wasn't really being involved. He wasn't really showing his utmost care for her. Now, what I believe is interesting between these two is the fact that this is a game. Alright, I've said this from the very jump. These two are playing a game. And what's the most interesting is the reason why they're playing the game. London's playing the game because he believes it's got no other competitors. Not only that, it's got another option, which is Divine. And not only that too, London is a person who, as I said, he's got two choices in his head. Divine, who is this great, amazing ride or die, as he said himself, which actually isn't really ride or die, but hey. And then he's obviously got Alexis there, who, you know, makes you want to lead a one I'm with and start a new relationship with you. This is what we do. But let me just say that I think one of the themes I want to add to this particular video is this. When you've got a choice between two people, more than likely, none of them are your choice. What happens is that people get caught up in... trying to have the best of both worlds. There's a reason why you're trying to step forward, but there's also a reason why you're stepping back.
Man, a lot of times when you're on the fence, you risk the chance of losing both people you got a connection with. You know?
And what you're trying to do is try to figure out which one's the greater need in your life. I've been in a position where someone has had to choose between myself and someone else. And what I actually did was, at first I said, yeah, choose. And then I actually deeped and I realized, are you a dickhead? No, I'm not. I'm never going to be your choice between two people. Never. I've also been the guy that's made a girl choose between two people. I say made a girl. Yeah, I've been the guy that's actually, been in a situation where I've put myself as an opposing person and I didn't really care. I put myself as the second person that she had to make a choice with. And in that particular instance, that time I didn't care. So imagine if she chooses me. It's a waste of a time, right? So there are often times where people have two choices and actually one of them really isn't the choice you need to be making. And sometimes both of them aren't the choice you should be making. Oftentimes it should be that you just need to be on your own, right? And that's what I realized when I put myself in a situation where I genuinely did care and I was one of two choices. I realized, am I a dickhead? I can never be your choice between myself and someone else. How can that be possible? But that does happen in real life. So yeah, we're going to talk about London and Alexis more.
I saw you getting a little jealous upstairs when Brent had his hands on my shoulder. You cut your eyes at me like, oh.
I did?
Yes, you did.
It was obvious?
Yeah.
One thing I realized about obviously London and Alexis is obviously the fact that, you know, Alexis made it clear that obviously London, she knows that London is feeling a certain way towards her because he saw obviously Brent's hand upon her shoulder. And one thing that's really interesting about Alexis is the fact that she's aware that London is feeling a certain way. It's a critical skill, and actually it's something that I believe that men often do to women. But to see it the other way around, take a bow, son. Yeah? When we see things like that, say it with me now. When you see things like that, you got to commend it. Yeah? You got to commend it. Why? Because she's playing the game like a guy usually does. And unfortunately, what London doesn't like is the fact that she's played it like a guy. Listen, no guy who's playing the game wants a girl to play the game the same way he's playing it. Yeah, because the reason why, the way that men play the game, they don't play with equality. They play with privilege, yeah, and entitlement. That is a different type of game. You see, the reason why girls get called hoes and get called loose and you know, female dogs and all those kind of words is because men operate from a place of entitlement and privilege. You can talk about patriarchy, but patriarchy is nothing without entitlement and privilege. When you put those two together, what you get is an unfair and unbalanced game. Why do some of you girls in the comment section comment and say you don't like Alexis? Because she plays a game like a guy. And you know you can't do that. You don't have the skills to do that. I'm sorry, I'm just going to be real. The reason why a lot of girls hate on someone like Alexis is, and they go, why does everyone like Alexis? Because you don't understand how the game works. You're playing it like a female, she's playing it like a guy. Don't hate on her. Rather, we should be learning from her. I'm just going to be real. Because I've seen some of the comments and I'm like, why are you not hating on Alexis? I don't know why guys like her. Ooh, it doesn't matter why we like her. Just know we like her. Do you understand? Rather, you should be trying to tap into what's making people like her. Because what I really notice about Alexis is the way that she can sometimes become nonchalant, doesn't really care. Sometimes she'll show that, you know what, sometimes she'll be like, well, I've got options on the table, so if you move around, I'm moving mad. And you see that when she positioned Kerry in a certain position, she sacrificed Kerry. She knew what she was doing. She didn't ever want Kerry. Yeah? But she had to do that because what she needed to do is get London into a place to know, listen, you're playing a game, I'm playing a game too. And the game has come full circle because now Brent's now involved and she's got a star player. Now, you see, it's almost like playing a card game. And the card that's come up is like your Charizard. Remember Pokemon from back in the day? A shiny Charizard has come into your pack and you're like, whoa, now my pack is lit. That's what Brent is. Kerry wasn't that. Kerry's like more of a silver bronze. And we've got a gold starter pack with Charizard, with Brent. Alright? Because with Brent, he's actual competition for London. No. London can say whatever he wants. I feel that I got no competition. There's no such thing. To say you got no competition actually means that when it comes to the crunch, when it gets down to it, if a girl was to have a situation where she likes you and another guy, what you would say is, I'm bowing out. Why? Because you've got no competition. You believe you've got no competition. And when someone says that, it's out of a place of pride. Now, I know London watches this, so I'm keeping it 100 with him. Look, when you say something like, I don't have competition, yeah, it's a very confident statement until you meet somebody who's actually competition. What do you do then? Do you fight? Or do you say what you said? I don't have no competition. Do you get it? And oftentimes what I started realizing is that when guys who meet their match, yeah, they tend to go, what, fam, I don't really care about that girl too tough anyway, fam. Oh, I thought you was not having no competition. Yeah. So with London Alexis, evidently Alexis feels London more. Let's be 100% real. Alexis wants to bag London. She will use anybody to make that happen. But she'll always...
He's going to lose one. When I came upstairs after I changed, and Brent was the first man that noticed me and told me, wow, you look beautiful, you dropped the ball tonight, big time. But this isn't the first time you dropped the ball.
Also settle as well for someone like Brent because he's not a bad catch. Yeah, he's a very funny. He can be very funny when he needs to be. He's also at the right level that she actually needs. London hasn't got the mix completely right at the moment. London's a bit funny and jokey, but we don't see the serious side of him. Divine said it. Alexis has said it. They don't see the serious side of London often. And I always say this: people who are not, who cannot be serious a lot of times, struggle with certain things in life, and maybe there's things that's happened to them that they have to keep joking at every section, right? Or maybe he just doesn't have that kind of level of depth in him. Do you get it? And it's not an insult. It's to say that there's a level of depth that Alexis is requiring. Maybe he doesn't have it, and Brent does. Yeah. So that's another thing that was interesting for me about Alexis playing. I also find it as funny because when women say like, "I want a guy that makes me laugh," and women sometimes say statements which are, I call them double-ended. Yeah. So she wants a guy that can make her laugh, not a funny man. There's a difference. The funny man is the man that's always joking around, but the one that makes her laugh knows when to make her laugh, time and season, as it says in our Bible. So you must understand that there is a time and a season for you to break jokes, and there should be a time and a season where you actually can be serious. That's why she's drifting towards Brent. I also know that she's drifting towards Brent because it's a game, and she's using him as a pawn. Let's be honest.
Tired of London and the jokes. London, I need you to bring it down and level it out to a point of which we could now get real, because I'm tired of the London stand-up comedy show.
Feeling so good up in my hood.
But at the same time, we can see that that is what she requires, because, like I said, you gravitate towards people that often are bringing something that you particularly want, right? And like I said, because it's all about power and control, this is so critically important to the way that Alexis is playing the game. So yeah, London is gonna have to find a way in terms of what is the best time to be funny, and actually when's the best time to be serious. And vice versa, when's the best time to be, if you're a serious person, when can you crack a joke and when can you just be serious? I also as well, with Alexis as well, what was interesting is the fact that Alexis was obviously, Alexis promotes his technique. I call it, when she mentioned the fact that, oh, you're a little bit jealous that Brent touched my shoulder. A lot of women try to get themselves into situations like this where they make another guy jealous. Let me be very 100% real with you. This technique does not work for a guy who does not feel for you anyway. It only means that he might try harder for you, but he just wants the same thing which you want in the beginning. It does not change his objective. I just wanted to make that very, very clear. Making a guy jealous just to get him doesn't change his objective. If he wants you, he wanted you. If he wants to sleep with you, he still wants to sleep with you. If he didn't want you, he doesn't want you. Now you can make him jealous or make him, I should say, competitive, because that's what normally comes out of a man. The ego starts getting competitive. It wants to show that obviously you can't do me like that.
Apparently it didn't work. So you trying to make me jealous? Is that what you're doing?
I'm not trying to make you jealous now. Definitely not. Definitely.
Better not be.
Oh, what? What you gonna do?
I don't know.
I'm the only one that can play this game. If the ego starts to play, right? It's hypocritical. It wants to have it its own way. It wants to have its cake and eat it. And so oftentimes women try to sometimes employ the technique Alexis is using. Listen, that technique is only successful if the guy liked you anyway, if the guy wanted you anyway. Do you see the difference? If the guy doesn't feel for you, it's not changing. It's not. Do you understand? It's not. Because guys, once they've made up their mind, they've made up their mind. Now, can I say the same with women? No. Because the reason why I said no, because I'm not saying this happens every single time. What I've noticed with women especially, is that when a man's social status changes, their view towards him changes. Because remember, women are attracted to power. Yeah, they're attracted to I'm not calling women any gold digger or anything like that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They like a man that is well qualified, intellectual, financially stable. He's good with people. People love him. They want the guy. Oftentimes, women, not all of them. Oftentimes, women want the guy that is the center focus. That is all things, but all things in being special to them. Yeah. So they want to often chase this type of guy. For instance, that's what I said to you about being an alpha male. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's an alpha male per se, but it just means that the one who's holding a group of men. And I told you from the jump when we started. I said to you, it'll be London. I told you it'll be Brent. I told you it'll be Mario. Just because of the way they look and the way they sound and the way they were talking, I knew these would be the three men that would basically be courted from the beginning. Right? Because these are the attributes that people see from the jump and they want. Now, the only way to change the woman's mind is to have what she wants, which is something that doesn't happen on a physical basis, which is finances. Yeah, finances. What's your financial status saying? Number two, what is your aspiration saying? Number three, and what's your social status? Right? For instance, because I started doing YouTube, let's put it this way. I've always said this in the sense of, it's going to be very hard to explain. Depending on the world that you subscribe to, yeah, there are gods within that world. What I mean by that is, if I like football, everybody knows Ronaldo, yeah, everybody knows Messi. If I become Ronaldo-esque and I have that same level of status, I become a god, right? And when I say god, I mean that loosely, because I don't want idol worship, please. But you become a god in people's eyes, and therefore people want to worship, yeah? And you have to understand the thing about when, in the Bible, it makes it clear that God is the man, in a sense, and we are the woman, right? The woman's job is to what? Worship. So now what women tend to do is look for the biggest god. Yeah, because as individuals, as human beings, that's why some people follow juju, some people do voodoo, some do hoodoo. But at the end of the day, if they meet a bigger god than the god they were serving, would they not leave the bigger god? Yes, would they not leave the smaller god to go for the bigger god? Of course, because they can see that one is more powerful. So in the same fashion, women do the same thing to men. Now, I'm not saying you're going to leave your husband. We're not talking about that. We're talking about trying to get the best out of the market. The world that you subscribe to, the way to change a female's mindset is that in that world that she subscribes to, you become the god. Now, in this particular relationship dating thing, we have a sphere of men and women. We have London, Mario, Brent, my three top people, right? Within this circumference, they are the gods. And now the women are chasing these men and are trying to worship and trying to find who they can worship, who's worthy of their worship. I know it sounds odd because often times we say men should worship women. No. That comes a little bit later on when you're in a relationship. But we're talking about now the actual wanting of a man. Do you understand? So, because the Bible says that the woman will what? Will pine after her husband. She will want her husband, and he will rule over thee. Yeah. So he will have authority over. So women chase these men who have the highest status within the circumference of a world. I hope I'm making sense. So what you see with London is London's not Alexis' best fit. The moment a guy is unsure as to whether he wants you or not, why would you want him? And the same for guys too. Why would you want a girl who says, I'm not sure if I want you or that person? Why put yourself in that circumference? Why put yourself in that kind of situation? The truth of the matter is, the hope, remember I keep telling you about the hope, there's a hope. You know, the Bible says there's the three last things are faith, love and hope. Hope is such a strong emotion that we want. I'm hoping that I potentially could get this particular thing. And because of that, chance, the sliver, the risk to get this particular big thing, we allow certain things to slide, yeah? Because with London and Alexis, they both are playing the game. You both don't consider each other the first. Well, I believe Alexis considers London more first base, and I believe London is still just playing the game in general. He wants Alexis. He wants Alexis for one reason. He wants Divine for one reason. Alexis's end game is she wants London, but she will play the game and play it like she doesn't care, and that's fine because we have to play the game in different ways. So it's just interesting to kind of see the way they kind of interact. I hope I haven't lost you guys. If I've lost you guys, just comment down below. We'll do another video.
Trying to figure it out.
You can have a seat. We'll chop it up real quick.
I'm in a different space now with London. I'm on the fence. I've got another great man that stepped up to the plate, and he's showing interest. London, on the other hand, doesn't want to choose, and I think that's because, he's got two great choices.
In the next part of their conversation, because what she did was so powerful. And I know London was wondering, what do I do? Now here's the thing, chance and luck happen to us all. Or as I say, chance and opportunity happen to us all. Okay? There is a time and a season for everything under the sun. Now, with Alexis, okay, I'll keep telling you guys, power comes through option. Like for instance, in UK we have Tesco, Sainsbury, Asda, Lidl, Aldi. We have different types of supermarkets, yeah? With that comes power. I can choose who I go to. If there was one supermarket, like a Walmart, that was huge, suddenly Walmart can take the piss. Why? Because they know they're the only one in the market. When you've got options, the person cannot take the piss. Because now you have power. Do you get it? Now, what you must begin to do, this is a little hint and tip, is to make it as if you have options even when you don't have options. You must behave as if you have options. What does that mean? It means the way you hold yourself, the demeanor you have, you must show as if you have options. Now, if a girl says, oh, I'm feeling you in the sky, you're like, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I've got options and I don't need to be it.
That's because, he's got two great choices. And if he may be afraid he's going to lose one. When I came upstairs after I changed, and Brent was the first man that noticed me and told me, wow, you look beautiful, you dropped the ball tonight, big time. But this isn't the first time you dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm. Boom. Bye. And you walk away. If she decides not to come after you, fine. You keep walking. Don't, do you know what I mean? If she decides to walk away, fine. If she doesn't decide to, if she decides to chase you, fantastic, you win. Do you get it? But if you do not play it like you have options, you can get used. Now, what happens is a lot of girls, and they've shown us in this particular series as well, and with Divine and London, Alexis didn't do this. Alexis physically made sure she had options, which gave her power and leverage with London. Divine didn't. Till it was too late and chose Brent, and then it was too late by then. Brent had already started feeling Alexis, right? So with London and Alexis, there was this jostling that happened, right? So what happened was when they were having a second conversation and they were inside, Alexis, you watch this, she barely smiled. Barely. Now, at this point, I knew she was acting, right? Because what she needs to do is show that, listen, I'm not interested no more. I've actually got options. You're messing around, but I've actually got options. So what you saw was that she, as we were conversing, she was like looking disinterested. She was like, yeah, I'm just to the point where she had grown so much balls, she actually told London, I'm actually disappointed in you. How can Brent come downstairs and tell me that I was looking nice before you? Fix up. How can she say that? Because now she had power. You see, a lot of times when in relationships, I keep telling you about power and control.
Together. How are you feeling towards me?
Disappointed. Disappointed. I gotta sort through some things and how I'm feeling and just take a moment to unpack all of my emotions and try to figure out where I'm at with it.
A lot of times in relationships, people struggle because they are needing power to be able to make the other person see that what they're doing is moving mad. The other person can't see because they have all the power. And no one man should have all that power. When you do, there tends to be a corruption that comes from it, right? So with Alexis and London, let's pay attention. Alexis said some things which were hypocritical, which made me smile because she was doing the exact same thing as London, so she can't really complain, but it is a game. So she was saying about how London is actually sitting on the fence. And what she was actually saying was, I'm not sitting on the fence, but I am using people and I will sacrifice them to pass the time, number one, and to show you two, I've got options. So if you mess around, I'm gone. Right? So she said, obviously, you're straddling the fence, etc. But we've been there before. She was talking about this when she was talking about the Kerry situation. And that didn't stop her from having connections. So why is it now you're deciding to try and flip it onto London as if you don't have options that you're working with right now? It's not like you haven't engaged those options. You've engaged them. So why did she say that? She said it because she needs to make London know.
He's made me feel for sure that it's a me and him situation and I should not be concerned with anyone else. So at this point, I am definitely frustrated. I am feeling that I'm getting closer to Brent and I'm moving away from London.
To make London know that this game is on. And now I'm in a position where, listen, if you do really mess around, I am really going. I need you to believe that. And it's the hope of when I make you see that you actually move, like you're gonna lose this thing, that makes you want to wake up and fix up. Do you get me? That's what she was hoping for. So she makes sure that her face, her demeanor is all shut down. She's not really interested, not really talking. It was a smart move, man.
It's so many moving parts. Eventually, I have to make a decision. She just needs to be patient. She gotta allow every story to play out so we can figure this all out together. How are you feeling towards me?
Disappointed.
And London said obviously as well that Alexis needs to be patient because we're trying to see. I want to try and let it play out. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This is what people actually do. I was one of them, so I know. This is what people actually do. They want to run the course out to see what would happen. Why? Because they don't want to make a choice. But the real truth is they're not scared to lose you. Now, when someone's not scared to lose you, I don't really think they're in love. Why do I mean that? And when I say scared to lose you, I mean in a way not of a fear that brings insecurity and a crippling. I'm talking about the fact that I love you so much, I don't want to lose you. There should be a fear there. I wouldn't want to ever lose you. Do you know what I'm saying? That kind of fear, that kind of reverence, that kind of respect that comes out of love. Not the I'm scared that insecurity, I have to hold you down and control you. No. We're talking about a healthy fear where it's like, I wouldn't want to ever lose her. That's why I like my best friend. But we don't see that from London. Why? Because he doesn't feel that way towards Alexis. No matter how much he likes Alexis, Alexis is the one that's getting his engine room running. This is the kind of girl that's going to prove his ego that he's actually good at what he does. It's only going to tap his ego that how great he is as a male hunter. But is it long term? No, Divine is a long term. That's why it calls Divine is ride or die.
Man, Divine, she's my ride or die, man. She's been riding with me, since day one. And then I got Alexis. She kind of like a roller coaster ride. You just never know which direction she gonna go.
Why doesn't he call Alexis a ride or die? Because he's not sure what Alexis could do. She's a cannonball. That's why he keeps saying roller coaster. She's a cannonball. She could do anything at any time. He knows assuredly 100% what Divine is bringing. That's why he's taking the mick out of Divine. Because he knows exactly what Divine will bring. But with Alexis, he's always in limbo. At any moment, he's not 100% sure what she could do. And if you watch the interaction, the second one, where he's talking with her, you can see he's not sure what to think. Because her face is like, I'm not interested no more. Yet you're blowing your chance. And he's like trying to calculate in his head, how do I move, how do I move, how do I move? So it was quite interesting to see that as well. And even there was a situation where, you know, the only place where she actually laughed is when she mentioned about the other guy who's feeling her. And then when she does laugh, when he says, oh, you make me smile, da da da, she underplays the laugh. Just listen to it. She underplays it.
You make me smile sometimes when I don't want to smile. You know, you're a phenomenal woman, for real. I mean that.
Why? She wants to get him into a certain place, certain thinking space. That, listen, you play around, I'm gone. Because once he realizes that she can go, he fixes up. A lot of times, complacency breeds contempt. Do you know what I'm saying? Familiarity breeds contempt. So you have to understand, sometimes people have to be shocked into something to get them to realize, whoa, 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 where am I? Fix up. What was interesting also was outside of the cabin feed, where they were by the fire.
I do know what's up. Before Reba came out here, me and him was talking, and he was just speaking on how solid you are with him and how his connection is stronger with you.
I say, oh, girl.
So I was just sitting up here talking to the bun. She
yeah?
claimed you got the remix. When she asked you, you know you stuttering. I said, nah, I don't believe that.
No, Mario had your back, though, but he was saying that you were saying that your chemistry and connection is the strongest with her.
And Mario had done a great job of putting London into it, man. Mario, fam, why did you say anything? Why did you tell Divine that that's his greater connection? That just caused more issues. So then London had to come out on a defensive thing to defend himself and explain that no one's my number one. Yeah? And you can see the faces on Alexis. She can't believe what she's hearing, right? And the truth of the matter is that London is just straddling the fence. And he realizes two options, but he's not infused by either one, because either one is missing something. Alexis is missing that ride or die attitude that he wants in the girl, that will love him and worship, walk the ground he walks on. Divine gives him the worship and the walking on the feet, the worship on the ground, the feet, worshiping the ground that his feet walk upon. But she doesn't have the excitement that he wants, right? When she gets with Alexis. So boom, what do? Oftentimes when people are choosing two people, they're getting the best of both worlds. That's why they haven't chosen yet. It is what it is, baby. And then when we see that he actually goes outside when Alexis and Brent are talking, and he says, can I talk to Alexis? And I want to say this as well.
Can I holler at you real quick?
Yes.
So I see Brent, but I'm like, where did he come from? I'm like, is this your bodyguard? Is this your poodle?
I ain't done talking to you yet, brother.
Let me just holler real quick.
I really appreciate Brent, and I like the fact that obviously, you know, he took her aside and everything like that because he noticed her change in her behavior. But the moment Alexis says, yeah, I will talk, bro, that's your cue to say, listen, I'm Xing her. Alright, cool, deuces. You could have said that. Yeah, but you didn't. You didn't realize the fact that she had said yes. Once she said yes, it's out of your control. Once she says yes, London ain't boying you. She's boying you. Like, you have to get that right. He isn't boying you. London's not boying you, fam. Alexis is boying it. Why is Alexis wanting to talk to him? Alexis should respect you, but she didn't. Because at the end of the day, who she really wants is London. Sorry, Brent. So yeah, guys, my verdict. London then eventually says he wants to choose Alexis. He goes after her. And it was always going to be her at the end of the day because it's about the ego, right? But if he wants a real relationship and love, Divine would have been it. But because I don't think his head's at that space right now, she's missing that fun factor that he really wants, he couldn't commit. So yeah, guys, that's my review for that one. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. There's more coming out. We're going to talk about some really deep things here going forward. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. Make sure you comment down below as well with your thoughts and your feelings as well. Guys, I appreciate you. Stay locked, stay loaded, and get gay.